Hey everybody, welcome back to the Electric Supercar channel. This week we're going to see if we can get the inverter and the controller talking. While we're waiting for a couple components to come in though, we will try, we got a couple other wiring things to clean up, so let's get to it. Alright, I put the front tires back on, put it on the ground. Oh man, I'd love to take it out. Still having the issues with the controller, not talking to the inverter. EV West said they're going to send some gold pins for me to replace. I give that about a 2% chance of working. So I'll probably work on just some other things, some electrical wiring, maybe some dash work, and while we wait. And like I said, when the pins come, we try those out and they don't work, we'll just have to go to the next step. I'm wondering if I need to replace the inverter board in the Tesla motor there, but I don't know. I may just switch to a different controller. Alright, so I'm starting to look at some of the things fiberglass wise. So I'm looking at the kind of the center console and dash. So this is what we got. This right here is for kind of a handbrake, which I don't have. Those are for gauges, which again I don't think I need. So I might just end up redoing both those. So under here, it's just got that. And I think up here it looks like it's just a slot for like a one DIN radio console. So I don't know what I'll do at the top there, but again, don't need the gauges. So I'll start trying to mock something up. Alright, I bought on eBay a gear selector, if you will. This one comes from a Honda Odyssey, but essentially the thought is a push button to get you into whatever gear. And so in the car I've got those 4 wires that basically just need to go to ground. So it's got a lot of electronics with it that I don't know that I'll need, so I may just strip that off, but my thought was to use the buttons to get you into gear. Alright, I've been disassembling this guy. So got the buttons, and I just took off the back here. So the circuit board, it's got a processor and everything. So essentially the Tesla controller has the processor for all the kind of logic and things for the gears. So I don't need that. What I really need is just kind of the buttons and electrical connections. So I'll go ahead and take this off. I got the circuit board off, and I guess the way this works, they've got these little pads here, and these actually all travel, you know, kind of left to right or right to left. And so they've got these pads, and some of them are shorter and some are longer, so it knows kind of what position they're in. Well, that's all good, but I don't need all that. So I'm going to just cut a piece of plastic that's that same shape, and I'll make some contacts. So again, when these slide, it'll hit the contact, and that'll bring it to ground and switch it to park or neutral or reverse. And yeah. Alright, here we are at the inverter plug, trying to take it apart. So EV West suggested that the gold connections on the inverter, I don't know if we're going to be able to see those, but let's see if we can sneak this in here. So I guess you'll have to take my word for it, but those are gold. And the tin ones here apparently don't make good connections. At least that's what EV West says. So they gave me some, what they're calling gold. They look very similar to the ones I have. So I am going to go ahead and take all these connections out and resolder on the gold ones. So I guess it's worth it. if it works. So by show of hands, who thinks it's going to work? What? Nobody? Well, we're still going to do it. Alright, so I got all the pins replaced with gold ones, except for my 2 CAN wires. So I tested impedance, they're both measuring 0.4, so I really do feel like there's low resistance. I shielded everything. I don't know. Here's the plan though. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some super high quality CAN wire, twisted pair, double shielded, everything, and solder the new pins on there, plug it in, route that CAN wire kind of far away from everything else, and give everything the best chance of working. So again, the gold plated connectors, new CAN wire way far away from everything, and at that point I think that gives it the best possibility of working. Assuming that it's some sort of a wiring or impedance or connection problem. Knowing my luck, it's that inverter. Something there's fried, but we'll see. EV West says they're pretty robust. They haven't had any problems with it, but I don't know. I seem to have a knack for things. Alright, I've got a little helper here. Hummingbird came in the garage. And he won't leave. I bought some CAN wire. I guess kind of the most highest quality I could find. So it's like, I think they said it's a double shielded, and anyway, specifically designed for kind of data communication. The ones before I just had, I don't know what you call it, just regular wire. Did twisted pair and everything, and then I went afterwards and tried to shield it, but to no avail. So we'll try this and hook it up to the controller and to the inverter and hope for the best. So we'll have the new gold plugs on the inverter and new CAN wire, and if that doesn't work, then it'll be frowny face. All right, moment of truth. So we got all the gold connectors on there. Got this nice fancy CAN cable, double shielded. I'm running it as far away as possible. We got the shielding grounded, and we're gonna give it another test. So I don't have any high voltage set up, but we'll go ahead and turn it on, and if it can't get past the CAN connection screen, yeah, well, I guess we'll see when we get to that point. Okay, we're gonna try it again. Again, swapping out connector pins, tin for gold, and swapping out a CAN cable. To me, it just seems like it's kind of a, I don't know. Most of my experience in electronics has been fairly binary, meaning it's, anyway, I don't have high confidence that this will work, but I would love to be proven wrong. So here we go. All you. Wow, who could have guessed it? I could have. Well, that's a lot of time and money wasted, so I guess we'll go back to EV West and EV Controls and see what they recommend next. Alright, I don't want to say I give up, but I guess we've reached the end of what I feel like I can do. So I'm going to be in the at the mercy of EV Controls and EV West. Just depends on how quickly they can get back to me and what they can offer as solutions, because like I said, I'm kind of done. All I can really do is test wires, test voltages, and yeah, after that I just need some more guidance. Either that or I gotta jump ship. So don't want to do that, but I don't know. Leave me a note in the comments. Let me know what I should do. Don't know what to do. So my next guess is the inverter. So if anybody knows how to test an inverter, or if I just need to start disassembling, I think that's where we're to next. I think the only thing that's frustrating. Okay, so I decided to fast forward through all that. Figured you probably don't want to hear. I guess if you really wanted to go back and play it in slow motion, but yeah, we'll try and keep it upbeat here. All right, I can still change my mind, but right now my plan is to have the charge port here on the rear of the car, kind of like probably behind the license plate or somewhere like that. So that's where it is. I've kind of bundled up all the wires. Essentially right here, I haven't done it yet, but this is where I need to splice the cable with. So these are coming from the charge port, and I need to splice them into here. Like I said, I probably won't do that until I get a like home charging capability for that receptacle. But then the proximity and pilot wires are going over here to the charge controller, which I've got just in my high voltage box. So I'm gonna go ahead and wire those up. Got a few other wires I need to kind of tidy up. I'm gonna put one extra fuse here for the DC to DC converter. I got fuses going out, but I don't really have a fuse going in, so I'll do that. I'm gonna put it's like a circuit breaker for that, so I'll put that there. Then I'll try and kind of tie all the wires out of the way. Okay, I added a little breaker here, a resettable breaker. I think it's like 50 amps coming from the battery, and I got the cables going again all the way over there, and then I got the negative tied into the frame over there. I'll take you around and show you. Alright, so there's positive and negative. I need to kind of tie them up to the frame, but it comes down, so the positive goes into kind of the fuse here, and negative got going here. So that one's all tied up, all finished up. I just need to add a fuse on the end of this one. So again, between the plug and the 400 volt battery pack. So that'll be next. And then I'll get all these wires kind of cleaned up and hopefully wrap up all the wiring. Alright, so this guy, I'm going to go ahead and kind of grind it off from underneath. So this will end up being kind of like a hole. And I'll put some fiberglass on the back and then lay some more on the top. And then kind of try and reprofile it to match. But I'll do all that before I start kind of drilling some holes for the various gauges or ports or buttons. Alright, I ground it out, so kind of just from the back side, so this is now kind of all smooth. So basically my thought is I'll put some fiberglass there, and then when it dries, then I'll start putting it over the top here, cut it out kind of to the shape, blend it, and then I'll have to kind of sand it and touch it up. But that's the thought, that's the process, and then I've got some ideas for layout. For components that I want to be mounted in this center console, I'm going to have kind of the gear selector, I'm going to have the start stop, the park brake, I've got 2 USB ports, the car voltage like 12 volts. I've also got, I don't know, you can probably see it down there, but that's the hazard switch. So my thought is for placement, kind of got it mocked up here. But I thought is have hazards up there. This is the park start stop, my gear selectors, and then kind of just do my USBs and voltage indicator. So that's kind of my thought. But I'll go ahead and fiberglass it up and start sketching it out and see how far we get. All right, I got most of it all in there. Again, I'm rookie when it comes to fiberglass. So I started on the back side and everything looked pretty good. When I ran to the front side, it just, like the back side really started to kind of like, I don't know what you call it, but like it just was wanting to fall away. Not so much from the edges, but just in the middle where it didn't have support. So I grabbed a piece of plastic just to kind of support it, laid those top pieces in, and again, what I thought was going to be the right thickness were like nowhere near. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this one dry, cure up, probably kind of sand it or cut it off in between, kind of create a new good surface to bond to, and then do a couple more coats so it's kind of even there. Alright, clearly I need a lot more practice, but I got it all filled in. It's kind of messy. We'll clean it up and start doing some Bondo or something to kind of make it look nice. Alright, I'm starting to sand down the fiberglass. Still got some high spots. Either that or I got to fill in the low spots, but I feel like it's still high. So, sanding it down. Alright, so got it mostly sanded down. Some areas kind of started burning through the gel coat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some, I don't know, some like filler and kind of probably do the whole top side here, just kind of get everything all evened out and sand it again. All right, I guess live and learn. I don't know. I think there might be a, call it a sunlight component or heat component, because I was mixing it up. Everything was nice, and then like as soon as I put it on, it just was like hard. I mean, everything was hard. So I don't know if I used too much hardener, if it's You're just not supposed to do it in the sun, but we'll try it again in the garage. Alright, so that time I tried a little less hardener and it started going on pretty good, and then it just seemed like one swipe was pretty good, and then like the very next one was like, oh gall, just messing it all up. So I'll go ahead and sand it again. All part of the process. So learning as we go. I think we're getting a lot less working time. Just it's really hot. It's over 100 degrees, and anyways, in the garage it's probably more than that, but and also outside. That's why I was trying to work outside, get a little fresh air, but I'm sure in the direct sun it's all the working times are much shorter. So we'll sand it and get another coat going. All right, so I sanded up my mess. It's not too bad. Again, I think I filled in a lot of the highs and lows and stuff, but it's not great yet. So we'll do it one more time, see if we can get closer. All right. Couldn't tell by now, this is my first time trying this. So let me share what I'm learning. If you can actually get it spread evenly and nice, oh man, like cleanup is so much easier. So I had to do it like 3 times, but after the 3rd time, kind of figured out how to spread it so it was nice and even, and yeah, cleanup was really quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and like wet sand this, and then we'll probably call it good. All right, I think it's looking pretty good. It's all feeling like nice and smooth and even. There's just couple spots that need to be evened out a little bit more, so I'm gonna do some hand sanding, and then we'll go mark spots where we want to put things in and start drilling holes. Probably need to touch it up again after that. All right, I got all sanded, then put a coat of primer on, and then I realized I'm not going to be painting this. This will likely be, I guess I'll call it upholstered. I'll probably have the vinyl stuff on top of it, but anyway, I think it looks pretty good. All right, we got the holes drilled out. I'm gonna go see if we can mount all these controls and displays and USBs and everything. I'm gonna see if we can mount those, just kind of confirm fit, and we'll take it from there. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. You'll have to minus those wires, and I'm actually holding this other guy in place. So I need to get, I either need to disassemble this and feed it through, or I just need to get like a connector that I can do all that and feed through. This guy is ready, except, all right, so I got it out. It's got these kind of retaining features, and so it really just doesn't give a lot of, it doesn't allow for a lot of thickness. So what I really need to do is I need to trim these down, and it's got these holes here, and it's got like 5 or so holes that I can kind of suck it up against this. I didn't want to trim these yet in case I have to go with a different controller, and the other controller doesn't have kind of the same sort of ability to switch the gears. So I'll probably just leave it like this for now. I'll figure out how to get those wires underneath, but that's what it's going to look like. All right, a lot of wheel spinning this week. Not literally wheel spinning. All right, that'll do it for this week. See you next week.